How long does a federal tax lien stay on a property? In this video, we're going to talk about a federal lien on a property, not a state, not a county, okay, a federal lien of any type. It doesn't really matter. And in this video, I'm going to walk through exactly how long they can last, how to get rid of them, how they can affect things. But here's the most important part about it. I'm going to show you how to profit from these things, okay? So when you see these things on it, it's not the end of the world. It could be the beginning of a profitable situation. And stick around to the very end. I'm going to show you a little bonus, if you will, on how you and your family can actually turn this possible tragedy into a benefit for everybody around. So stick around and I'll show you exactly how to do that. What is a federal lien on a property? Anything that's coming from a federal agency. There's one or two scenarios you don't want in the morning. You don't want to hear the door knock and then somebody from 60 Minutes is there. It's usually not a good thing. Or you don't want to hear the door knock and there's a certified letter from a federal agency saying they're putting a lien on the property. But that doesn't mean it's the end all be all. Anytime I've seen federal liens on property, it's typically because of a bad business deal. I've seen partners involved that didn't pay a federal fine or fee or something like that. And so this person's sitting around going, what do I do with this? The first thing you want to do is not to try to deal with this on your own. There are bureaucracies out there. There are people that specialize in this. And so the first thing you need to do is not panic on this. It's not the end of the world. I know it's easy for me to say in this video, but it's true. It's not the end of it. You're gonna find out what this is all about, and reading their legalese in those papers typically doesn't tell you anything whatsoever. So you gotta look at it that way. The one thing you need to do is find out who handles federal liens, not W taxes, on properties, and you need to get somebody that's got some kind of experience in there. Hire them immediately to get this thing gone. Find out what it's all about and see how you're tied into that. It could be something very ambiguous. Maybe it was a deal that you did. Well, here's a good example. I sold a boat of mine, a performance boat. What do you call those? Wake surf boat. God, like 4 years ago. All of a sudden, I got a $3,200 lien from the state because I wasn't paying any registration fees. I'm like, I don't own the boat. Okay, it wasn't mine, but I had to prove that I didn't own it, and I did, and I got the money back. But it was a whole process. That's kind of the same thing. But the feds scare everybody. So get somebody that knows what they're doing. I got somebody that knew what they were doing. They took care of the whole thing. In fact, I recently just got that check on that because I had to pay them. Okay, it was kind of a pain. I sold the property in that state, and that's why they took the money. And I was like, what are you taking this money for? You owe us money on this boat. I know I don't. So that's that whole process. If you have a federal, first thing is get somebody that knows how to deal with it, find out what it is, and then make arrangements if it is yours, or go at it, fight them. I'm gonna tell you this though. Until it's proven it's not yours or you've proven that you've paid it, it ain't going away. If you see a federal lien on a property, even a federal, income tax lien or whatever, this usually is what they call the tip of the iceberg, okay? There could be other things that are going on. It's very rare that things are humming along in business and all of a sudden some federal lien comes up on a property or something else like that. It's probably an indication of bigger problems to come. So you might be able to go in and help this person get rid of that lien by paying it and maybe getting a property in the scenario, working out a deal on that. What can we do to help this situation? And there's a difference between taking advantage of somebody and helping. What you've got to do is you've got to find out what the scenario is. Let me give you a perfect example. So there was a property in Georgia. It was a commercial piece of property. There were 20 units, business, office complex, suites, if you will, single level, beautiful building. We had it capped out at about $2.8 million. That was our cap rate on the property. It wasn't occupied, so it needed to get that way, but it was in really good condition. It was a little head scratcher. Well, they owed $14,000 in back taxes. I said, there's no way this is going to go to sale. Why would somebody let almost a $3 million property go for $14,000 in delinquent taxes? Well, guess what? It did sell. Somebody was asking about it. I said, I'll put dollars to donuts that this partnership has got some problems. Somebody is not doing something. because there's no way somebody lets a $14,000 taxable situation go to a sale. So maybe there's some fighting going on within this LLC, within this thing that's going on there. So I didn't even buy the property. Immediately I'm going, okay, let's find out what's happening. And you got to come in at it not, I'm here to help and let me take the property. It's like, hey, we're seeing that this property went up. If you can tell me what the scenario is, I might be able to help out. And I actually could in that scenario. Because in this scenario, because it happens to be in a tax deed state that offers a penalty, in order for them to redeem this, they don't pay $14,000 in back taxes. They have to pay $204,000 plus a $40,000 penalty. So they almost have to pay $250,000 to get this out of hock, so to speak. Where are they getting that money? Maybe they have it. I don't know. But again, the problem, 14,000 turns into $250,000, is indicative of something bigger going on. So I could go in there and maybe it's I hate him and I hate her or whatever, a divorce, something like that. Hey, how about if I do this? I'll pay off those taxes and give you $200,000. You sign the property over to me. Well, we can get all this money. Then go get the money. What do you want to do? All I'm trying to do is present a solution to the problem. And they could say, well, we want more than it's worth $2.8 million. Well, there's nobody in the, I don't want to get drag into that scenario, but you see what's going on here. Well, Sean, you're willing to pay almost $500,000 for a property. It's worth $2.8 million. Okay, they put some cash in their pocket. I get some equity in my pocket. I make it happen. How a property gets into that scenario is none of my business. What I am charged in doing is finding a solution. If they come back to me and go, no, I want $1 million. Okay, I want $1 million. Okay, that's the case. Now I've got to look at the scenario and go, is this worth $1.25 million? Because I got to pay the taxes and do this in order to get this property over. It could be. I don't know. What I'm saying is when you're seeing federal liens on properties, federal tax liens on property, state tax liens on property, any one of those, it's an indication there is a bigger problem and an opportunity for you to go in and solve a problem. Because typically this problem is not as big as they think it is. And your job is to go in there and say, okay, here's a scenario. How can I help? What are you guys trying to accomplish? I just want out. I never want to talk to this person. Okay, maybe that's a scenario. Or, you know what? There was somebody, one of our partners died. This got slipped through the crack. Maybe there's an opportunity there to help out. There's a scenario where one of my students, this is, 25 years ago, and the property did not redeem. They went into foreclosure. It turned out the lady that was in the property had dementia. She had money. She could have paid the taxes. She had boxes everywhere because she had an addiction problem to, what was that, home shopping network type of a deal. We got a hold of the adult children, explained to them the scenario and said, listen, if all you do is pay us the back taxes plus the 16% that we were owed on it, we won't foreclose on the property and we'll just give it, you guys deal with that. And they were able to do it. They were super happy. They did not realize in that scenario. And everybody wins in that scenario. So again, it's not about taking advantage of somebody, but there's an opportunity for both sides if you just look at it and say, how do we solve the problem? And you're gonna find a solution there. And the great thing about this is, I see this stuff all the time. And so how do you take advantage of this with somebody? I mean, it's not easy, but it's simple if you have somebody holding your hand. So what I've got is a brand new mini course. This course is going to walk you step by step through everything you need to do to handle a situation like that and the resources to capitalize on all that. All you got to do is click the link down below. It's higginsmethod.com. That's the website. You go in there, type in your information. My team will get a hold of you, send out that information, and we'll be off the races. This is Saen Higgins saying God bless and good luck. We'll see you out there.